Sanchari, thank you so much for being here with me, for taking your time for this quick interview. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Ivan. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Okay, 4 quick questions. The first one is, can you please tell me the name of your company and when you started it?
Yes, the name of the company is Education Consultants Canada, ECC, and
Mhm.
we started back in 2007, but we incorporated the company in 2010.
Okay, so well over 10 years now.
Over
Oh,
10 years now.
okay,
Yes.
right. Yeah. Okay, good. And why did you start working with international education? So many things to do. Why international education?
When I had come here as an immigrant, uh, um, mm, we would get different kind of queries as to how to come here as international student, or my partner, my spouse was an international student back then, so he used to also get these queries. So we realized that we are filled with a lot of queries, and then why not convert this social service into actual service. So
Mhm.
that was the idea
Mhm.
behind starting Education Consultants Canada, and we would the whole um, uh, vision, or the whole idea, was to have a very realistic and a very authentic, uh, mm, what do I say, authentic way of counseling students.
Okay, okay. Interesting, very interesting. Was it difficult from the idea to the actual business? Was it a long way?
Oh yeah, oh
Mm.
absolutely yes. It was 3 years before we got, because we were new. We
Mhm.
don't have any kind of background, or any godfather or a mentor in the
Mhm.
industry. So when you start, and you can start recruiting students from internationally, is only when you have contract with colleges and universities. But uh, you have to have a reference check. You have to have
Mhm.
somebody to give the reference to get a contract. So were persistent. It took 3 years to get our first contract.
Mhm.
And I guess it was a, a fairy godmother, I think, the godmother,
Mhm.
who convinced who was convinced about our work, and what we plan to do, what we envision to do, and
Mhm.
trusted, and gave us a first contract for a year, and said, we'll see how you perform,
Mhm.
and we'll go from there. And that first contract, and we committed to very realistic numbers of students, but quality students. And
Mhm.
this one contract got us 60 contracts with colleges and universities of Canada to work
Wow.
with them to get international students.
Mhm. Oh,
So
that.
yes, that, that had been a long journey.
Mhm. A long journey. Oh, incredible. And okay, after being on the road for over 10 years, how do you see the future of international education? You've been to Berlin recently, you told me,
Yes.
and how do you see things going?
I think the space that we are in right now for international education is way better than what it had been 10 years before, because there are a lot of tools, resources, and international students, before coming to study here, has a lot of networking that can be done before, to get a real picture, connecting with the alumni, connecting with the college, connecting with the peers, and they get a very realistic idea about how it will, if the student choose to venture out, uh,
Mhm.
what it is there for him or her once they move out and start studying, which
Mhm.
was not there. Even the colleges, even the academic institutions have a lot of support, a lot of support services in terms of connecting with the community, support services in terms of building your resume, support services in stuff, mental health. So there are a lot of support services right now, which is an extended to your actual education, which is
Mhm.
a really big bonus, I feel, for the
Yes.
students. So it's a very good place and a good time now to come and study.
Excellent. So you are very optimistic about education in the future.
I am. I think lots of generally the international students go out from their own space is to have the experience, to have to have to work or to have an exposure in a global platform. And that, if I have to talk about Canada, that's definitely this Canada is called the land of immigrants. So even an international student is coming here to study, they have they the next person they do the assignment with somebody from one country, the other person is from some other country. So it's a amalgamation of a culture, lot of ideas, uh, um, lot of real experiences. So
Okay.
yes, I'm very positive. And in if I have to talk about Canada, I hope I'm giving the numbers right, but what I read is it's around 730,000 students for the
Wow.
2023 international students, which is expected, and 500,000 approximate immigrants um, uh, in next 5 years or 3 years.
Okay. That's incredible.
So yes, so I'm sure there must be some kind of uh, you know, there must be some achievement that the person would get to leave their own safe space and go out and study or work or settle, especially in Canada.
That's great. Excellent. Beautiful. And okay, so the last question is what is one lesson that you have learned, on this during this many years you've been working with international education? What is one lesson that you think is important and that you could share with us, with other CPIEA members?
Ah, there's lots of lesson I've
There are
learned
lots
for
of lessons. It's hard to
sure.
find one, huh?
But yeah. But one most important lessons, and I think we have Education Consultants Canada is I'm the co-founder of the company. The founder is Abhay Rai. He is my partner, my spouse, and I think it's a both of us we learned this lesson of not giving up, being persistent, and if you have your direction right and you know what you want eventually, things started to fall in place. And can I add one more?
Sure,
and
of
on
course.
and over the process, I think uh, giving it back as much as you
Mm,
can. And it's like Newton's third law: the more
mhm.
you give back, the more it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So these are the two uh, pillars, I would say, of or two lessons that had helped us to
Mhm.
keep going.
Yeah, that's a great lessons, and thank you so much for sharing those.
Thank you. And
Yes, please.
yeah, and thank you, KPR Awards again. It is I have to mention this that this is again validation of work. I was talking about giving back, and this
Mhm.
is like what we are doing over the period of last 10 years uh, is getting recognized in these recognition in every other way. So
Mhm.
thank you. It helps us to get the conviction that we are on the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, and we appreciate to have you in the group. You were every time I talk to you, you've been so kind to me, and it's incredible to have you. I really hope we can meet in person in the future
Absolutely,
someday.
absolutely. I hope so too, and I look forward to meeting you someday.
Someday we will meet in some workshops around the world.
Yes, absolutely. It's a very education ecosystem is a very small space. I would say
Yes,
everybody
yes.
gets connected somewhere in some conference, or
Mhm.
we will definitely meet.
It's true, it's true. So Shari, thank you so much for your time, and I will talk to you soon again. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.